Well, I'll be damned. The tourist in the flesh. Oh, stories about you been buzzing all over the bayou.
Hello everyone, welcome to this review of The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. It's an exciting time for zombie enthusiasts as this is the first of two upcoming The Walking Dead games. This game, developed by Skydance Interactive, takes you to a zombie-infested New Orleans where you have to find a mysterious reserve that is sold to us as the holy grail for any survivor, filled with weapons, medicine, and food to last a lifetime. Before heading in, let's look at a quick overview. So this is a single player game, no co-op is included, for that you have to wait for The Walking Dead Onslaught developed by Survios. Now this is a really comfortable game in terms of experiencing any motion sickness, even running doesn't feel strange in the slightest, which is often something that induces a form of motion sickness in VR games. The game was released January 23rd on all PC VR platforms.
And guess who's close to unearthing the mother lode? That's right. You're looking at him.
So let's dive in. The game gives you a short explanation on all the game mechanics, which is welcome in games like these, where a lot seems to be going on. You have the usual 3 weapon holsters you often find, with 2 smaller slots on the sides and a bigger weapon slot on your back. A backpack on your back to store all of the loot you will find in the game, and a journal and flashlight up front. Now the journal is where you will have all of your missions, save codes, clues, you name it. When being introduced to the combat in this game, you will find it quite satisfying and quite gruesome at times. Depending on how hard you hit or stab a knife for example, will determine how far the blade goes in. Gun combat is the usual VR mechanic. At times it can feel hard to hit a target at distance, but this helps with the whole survival feel of the game. Survival is a key word here. You will have to eat, drink, whatever you can find or craft food and medicine at your station. This will replenish health and stamina, which you will need if you want to survive the hordes of zombies you are facing. Like I mentioned, you can craft food, but this isn't all you can craft. Crafting is an essential system in the game. You can't really do without it. Weapons you find in the world will have low durability, meaning they will break after just a few uses. Weapons you craft on the other hand, will last you much longer. In order to craft weapons, upgrades, food and medicine you will need crafting materials, which you can find from gathering random objects in the world. Yes, this is a loot game, and you will most likely spend more time looting than you do killing zombies. After crafting these fine weapons, including some Walking Dead classics like the Sheriff Revolver used by Rick Grimes in the show, you can choose to either take them with you or store them for display in your trailer. There are a lot of weapons you can find in the world, often hidden in vaults. These vaults require codes you can either find or receive from doing quests or side quests. These side quests are often the same. Go save this person, find this loot, or kill this other person. Sometimes these quests are given by factions and can result in you having to choose sides. How this will go depends all on your choices and actions. These fights often prove to be the most challenging, as the most dangerous foes in the zombie-infested world are actually humans. When facing head-on, they have more health and require quite some more shots before they fall over and die. So the best thing you can do in general is avoid these fights. The game offers multiple approaches to these situations, including sneaking in by either climbing on pipes or breaking open another entrance to a house. You can avoid confrontation and loot away. The factions or random humans in this world are also a small point of critique to the game. Each part of the city you can travel to is filled with survivors, and often there is no way to interact with them other than them being rude to you. Sometimes this results in funny situations where survivors are attacked by zombies, and because they weren't friendly to me, I did nothing to assist them, only to come back later and find out they were dead and made into zombies. There are some other things the game could improve on. For one, it's dark, and when I say dark, I mean really dark. Even though you have a flashlight, which you constantly have to shake to recharge, putting it back on your chest doesn't really do much. It's still hard to see where you're going most of the times. There is the occasional invisible wall as well, which I never really understood as a game mechanic in the first place. Simply place something there so I know where I have to go and where I cannot go, instead of having to guess and just walking into invisible walls. Now these are small points of critique. Most of the things the game does, it does really well. It actually makes you feel like you're playing a survival game with the emphasis on surviving. You have to make sure there are meds, bandages and food in your backpack, because dying means you have to go back into the world to find that backpack with only what you have in your body slots at your disposal. There are no quest markers in this world, so you have to find things based on clues given in notes and pictures. This may sound tedious, but it actually isn't. Not having any quest markers in the HUD makes it feel a lot more immersive, which really helps with the survival aspect of the game. Then there's the combat like I mentioned before, because well, it is a zombie game after all, and this is where the game really excels. Swinging baseball bats into zombies' heads, beheading them, or sneaking up on them and knifing them in the back is satisfying and thrilling. When more than one zombie approaches, you have to make a choice. Either use your gun, which will attract more zombies, or dispose of them in melee combat, which has its own downsides. With about 15 to 20 hours of content, depending on your looting habits, this game never really feels too short or too long. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is an absolutely excellent zombie survival game, which will please every The Walking Dead fan out there, or just the general zombie enthusiast. Who doesn't want to walk in the shoes of Rick Grimes just for a bit and busting up zombies or shooting them in the head? I hope you enjoyed this video review, and if you did, please like and subscribe for more VR content.